Mrs. Thompson loved gardens. She wanted to share that love with her students. One day, she had a wonderful idea. "Let's build a school garden," she announced. The students were thrilled. A real garden, right at school? What could be more fun? Mrs. Thompson explained her vision. The garden would be a place to learn and grow together. Students would plant, water, and weed. They would watch their hard work bloom. Everyone was excited to get started. Mrs. Thompson divided the class into teams. Each team had a special job. The planners designed the garden layout. They decided what to plant. The builders would prepare the garden beds. They would get their hands dirty. The planters would sow the seeds and seedlings. They would learn all about each plant. And, of course, everyone would help with the watering and weeding. Mrs. Thompson smiled. Working together, they would create something amazing. First, the builders got to work. With the help of some parents, they cleared the area. They dug up the soil. It was hard work. Soon, they had several raised garden beds ready for planting. The planners had chosen a variety of plants. There were colourful flowers, like sunflowers and zinnias. They also chose vegetables, like juicy tomatoes and crunchy lettuce. Everyone was excited to taste the garden's bounty. Finally, planting day arrived. The planters carefully followed Mrs. Thompson's instructions. They learned how deep to plant each seed. They learned about spacing and sunlight. It was magical to tuck tiny seeds into the warm earth. Each seed held the promise of life and growth. The students couldn't wait to watch their garden flourish. Section 5. Our garden grows. Weeding, watering, and watching. Every day, the students took turns caring for the garden. They watered the thirsty plants. They pulled out pesky weeds. They watched for signs of growth. Slowly but surely, the garden came alive. Tiny sprouts emerged from the soil. The sunflower stalks grew taller each day. The tomato plants started to flower, promising delicious fruit to come. Section 6. Garden Glamour. Adding our creative touch. The decorators wanted to make the garden even more special. They painted colourful signs to identify each plant. They decorated rocks to look like friendly ladybugs and bumblebees. They even created a whimsical scarecrow to watch over the garden. Their creativity and hard work transformed the garden into a magical space. Section 7. Garden Day Celebration. Sharing our bounty. Finally, it was time for the Garden Day celebration. The students invited their families to see the fruits and vegetables of their labour. They proudly showed off their thriving garden. They shared stories about planting, weeding, and watching their garden grow. They even got to taste some of the fresh produce they had grown themselves. The tomatoes were juicy and sweet, and the lettuce was crisp and delicious. Section 8. A garden's lasting gift. Memories, friends, and green thumbs. Evergreen Elementary's garden project was a huge success. The students learned so much about teamwork, responsibility, and the wonders of nature. They discovered the joy of watching something grow from a tiny seed into a beautiful plant. Most importantly, they created lasting memories and friendships while digging in the dirt together. The garden became a source of pride for the entire school community.